video. So in this video we are going to discuss about an off-campus coding question whose name is basically reducing dishes coding problem. So you might have came across this question a lot of times, and if you just search in Google, guys, you will be not getting answer for this one. Okay, so in Check and in Brainly they have given the question, but they are now given the proper solution. And also there are some solutions in internet which are not proper. If I just wanted to show you, I'll just show you here. Okay, so yes, so here you can see, like, if I say reducing disease solution in Java, so if I just search, guys, then you can see there is a lead code problem. Okay, so that is not relevant. After that, so there is like check. After that, Geeks for Geeks, GitHub, and lot of websites are there. But yes, if I open this check, I'll just show you what happens. Right, so if I just open this one, then they'll not be showing the proper answer. Okay, so they'll just say that this question has been solved and you need to take the subscription to see this answer. So here you can see this problem has been solved and see the answer, but they will not show the answer, and that is the problem. Fine, so I don't know whether they are solved or not, but they are just telling that we are solved. Fine, so I'll not go into these things. I'll just show you the answer, and I have solved this one, guys, and I'll just show you, like, there are 90 pages in this PDF, so where I daily solve the off-campus coding questions. So this was actually asked in one of the off-campus, right? So by Meti platform. So that question I have taken and I have solved this one, tested for all different types of inputs, all corner cases I have tested, and at the end I'm making this video and I'll explain you point to point, that is from A to Z. I'll explain you how to solve this question, what are the constraints which you need to keep in mind while solving this question. Fine. So the question is something like this, and already I have uploaded this in my website, guys, and you can see this question already I have uploaded. So if you want to search, like, you can find the answer in Google. So for that I'll be leaving the link in description. Okay, so you can see the whole question I have written. After that, the question screenshot and the required code is also present, guys. So here I have given the code as well. Okay, so now I will explain you how that code is working. Okay, so I'll just zoom in first so that you will be able to read the question properly. So understanding the question is very important, guys. So once you understand question, writing the code is very easy. Okay, so what is the name of this code? Reducing dishes. Fine. So after that, the question says something like this. Monica has cooked n dishes and collected the data on the level of satisfaction for all the dishes from a guest. So Monica is the one person who has cooked n dishes here, and she has collected the satisfaction data from the guest. The guest returns an array where the ith element of the array is the liking level of the ith dish. So basically, a guest will be returning one array that indicates how likely they have, how is the dishes which they have prepared, right? So Monica, whatever she has prepared, so what is the satisfaction level for this one, whether they liked it or not. So basically from a range of values they will be giving. Okay, so we'll be having one array. Fine, so that is okay. After that, also the time taken to cook the ith dish is I. So also the array indicates whatever the time is there, right? So whatever the value they are given, so that value is basically the time taken to cook that particular dish. Fine. So first paragraph is clear now. Now after that, like to time coefficient of a dish is calculated by multiplying the time taken to cook food with its liking level. So like to time coefficient is basically we need to multiply the time taken to cook the food with its liking level. Let us say 1 is the time taken, 1 minute is the time taken to prepare that dish, and if it is having a satisfaction level or liking level of 10, then 1 into 10 will be the like to time coefficient. So how this is how we will be calculating. So the same thing they have written, guys, I into input 2 of I. That means from array I will be taking this one and I will be given. So total like to time coefficient is calculated by summing up all individual coefficients of dishes. So for one dish there will be one like to time coefficient. So for that we will be having one array. That means we need to find out the cumulative sum of all the dishes in order to reach at one like to time coefficient, which is the average of all those things. Okay, so once you are done with this, guys, now what is your task? Okay, so what is our task here? You want to know the total like to time coefficient to be maximum. So you can also remove some dishes, in which case a new coefficient is calculated using the left dishes. So also here they have given that to make the like to time coefficient maximum, we can remove some dishes here. So if their liking level is very low, at that moment we can remove. So it depends on the situation. If it is degrading our like to time coefficient, then we can remove some dishes. So we'll see in test cases, we'll come to understand that one, when to remove and when not to remove. Fine. So after that, find the maximum sum of all possible like to time coefficients. So they are telling that find the maximum sum of all the possible like to time coefficients. So we need to return one integer here. That means, okay. So after that, you can see input specification. N indicates number of dishes. After that, input 2 is an array representing the liking value of each dish. So there will be n number of dishes and each dish will be having a liking value. Okay, so that will be given in the form of array. After that, output specification, you can see return maximum like to time coefficient possible. So that means we need to return an integer which is like to time coefficient, maximum like to time coefficient. Now let us discuss one example. Input is 3, that is n value is equal to 3 means there are 3 dishes and their liking values are -1, 3 and 4. Okay, so next up the question is here, guys. Let me just scroll down. Okay, so down. Alright, so input 1, 3. After that, input 10, -1, 3 and 4. Output expected for this particular input is 17. So how it is 17? Let us see here. So she should not cancel cooking the first dish, since total coefficient without cancelling the equals is equal to. That means if she if she do not cancel any of the dishes, then the coefficient will be, first one is 1. First for first dish, the time taken will be 1 unit. So 1 into what is the satisfaction level or liking level? -1. So 1 into -1 is the first coefficient. After that, plus time taken to cook the second dish is 2, and after that the liking level is 3. So 2 into 3 plus time taken to cook the third dish is 3 and the liking level is 4. So 3 into 4. If I multiply this thing, 4 3s are 12, 3 2s are 6 plus 1 into -1. So it will be 18 minus 1, that is 17. So 17 is the like to time coefficient. Got it? So now after that, if she would have cancelled cooking the first dish, the coefficient would be, okay, so assume that she had cancelled the first food because it is having a negative liking value, in the sense if she thinks that okay, it may degrade. Okay, so if she cancels that one, see here what happens. If she would have cancelled cooking the first dish, the coefficient would be first, if she cancels this one, then 3 will be at the first position, 4 will be at the second position. So 1 is the time taken to cook the liking value with the 3. So basically 1 into 3 I have to do. After that 2 into 4. So if if I add up these things, then I will be getting 11. Okay, so this is basically lesser than 17. So that's why the better option will be to go with the first one, that is keep all the dishes as it is and find the coefficient. In that case only we will be getting the highest value, that is 17. Fine. So this is how you have to think. That means you have to think here whether I should remove a particular dish or not. So that is very important, guys. You have to find out which dishes I have to remove and which dishes I have to keep. If you figure out that one, then writing a code is piece of cake. So how to figure out whether to remove a particular dish or not, that I will be explaining in detail. Don't worry. After that, let me just show you second example as well. So they have given 2 test cases, guys, and in second example they says that input 1 is 5, after that input 2 is -1, -9, 0, 5 and -7. This is the liking level. So here Monica should cancel dishes with like value -9 and -7. So here they are telling that Monica should cancel the dishes with liking level. Let me just. Alright, so यहाँ पे in the sense Monica should cancel these dices minus 9 and minus 7. Then she would be left with the first, third and fourth dices. That is, she will be left with minus 1, 0 and 5. So why she is cancelling minus 9 and minus 7, that I will explain you guys. But just for the understanding, just for this example, you just observe that she has to cancel these two things. After that, what will be left? So 1 into minus 1, because this will be rearranged. So 1 into minus 1 will be there. After that, 2 into 0 and 3 into 5 will be there. So when I add up these things, then I will be getting 14. So hence this is the output, guys. Now the question arises, why she has cancelled only minus 9 and minus 7. So what happens if we don't cancel these things? So I'll just answer all these things with the help of a marker here. So you just concentrate, guys. So here the one thing which you should keep in mind is okay, so let me just create an array. Okay, so clearly I will explain this one, guys. You just have a look at this. So how many elements are there? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So this explanation mostly you will not be getting in any video, guys, believe me. So 1, 2, 3, after that 4, and this is the last compartment which is very big, I know, but yes, it's okay. Fine. So I will fill up the elements. Minus 1. I'm writing with mouse, guys. Please pardon me if I'm taking much time. Minus 9. After that it's 0. Then it's 5. And it's minus 7. Fine. So after that, the index values for this will be like the index is starting from 1 in this case because time taken. So these are the time taken. Time taken for 9 is 2. After that, for this it is 3. Then for this it will be 4. And for this it will be 5. So now what happens, guys? The first thing what you need to do is basically sort this array in the ascending order. Why you want to sort? Because whatever the values will be having on the right hand side are having the coefficients bigger, like here it is 5, then 4, then 3, then 2. So if I multiply 5 with minus 7, it will be a bigger number. If I multiply 4 with 5, it will be again a bigger number. So as I move towards left, the summation will going to increase, and as I move towards right, the summation is going to increase. So that's why what I will do, first step what you need to do is sort the given array in the ascending order. So if I sort, what I will be getting? So again we will be getting one new array. Let me just draw this one. Okay, so this is enough, I think, this much. Okay, fine. So new array, in that I will be having again 5 elements, 1, 2, after that 3, then 4 and 5. Okay, fine. So again 5 elements. So the first element will be minus 9 because that is the smallest one. After that the next smallest is, next biggest is minus 7. After that next biggest is minus 1. After that 0 will come. After that 5 will come. So this is sorted now. So once you sort, again number them. So here again numbering will be done. So you can reorder them, guys. There is no rule that you have to write as it is. Okay, so 1, 2. After that 3. After that I will be writing 4. And after that I will write 5. Okay, once you have done this one, now you need to find out which elements I should remove. So for that, only a simple thing what you need to do is find out the highest element in this array, guys. So if you look for the highest element, then it is 5, right? So this is the highest element. So let me just write here. So this is the highest element, that is 5. So now compare each and every element, that is compare minus 9 with 5. If it is lesser than this 5, then remove this one. Also not only lesser, guys, it should be negative and lesser, because this will be adding up. Minus 9 into 1 plus minus 7 into 2 plus minus 1 into 3 plus 0 into 4 plus 5 into 5. Like this I am going to find out the cumulative sum. So whenever we are finding the cumulative sum, if the number is negative, then it will reduce my cumulative sum. You should not touch these positive values. Whatever positive values are there, let it be as it is. Just I want to remove these negative values, and also we should not remove all the negative values, because if I remove all these negative values, their index is going to reduce. If I remove all those things, then index will become 1, and here the index will become 2. So 1 into 0 1 and 5 into 2 10. So only coefficient I will be getting 10. But in this case, if I keep this thing as well, that is minus 1, if I keep, then it will be 1, it will be 2, and it will be 3. So 1 into minus 1, minus 1. 2 into 0, 0. Minus 1 plus 0, minus 1. So 5 into 3, 15. Minus 1, it will be 14. So I will be getting 14 here. So that is greater than if I just consider only these two positive numbers. I hope you are getting this point, guys. If you don't understand, just rewind the video and play it again, you'll come to understand. Okay, so I'm explaining again this one. Fine. So now the main thing what I will be doing is, first I will check whether the given number is negative, and also I will check whether this number is less than, if it is greater than 5. That means if it is greater than or equal to 5, or the highest number. In this case, it is 5 is highest number, so that's why I am comparing with 5. The first thing what we will be checking, whether the given number that is negative or not. So if it is satisfying the first condition, that is it's a negative number, then go to the second condition, check whether this number, you will be taking this absolute value. So obviously minus 9 cannot be greater than this 5, right? So take the absolute value of this one, that is it will ignore the sign and you will be left with 9. So if 9 is greater than or equal to 5, then discard this 9. Okay, now the 9 has been discarded. I have removed this one. Again check minus 7 is positive or negative. It is negative. Fine, first condition satisfied. In next condition, take the absolute value, it will be plus 7. If it is greater than or equal to 5, then remove this element. Yes, it is greater than 5, so remove this one as well. So now come to the minus 1. So take minus 1 and check if it is negative. Yes, it is negative. It is satisfying the first condition. But now take the absolute value of minus 1. Absolute value of minus 1 is 1. So whether 1 is greater than or equal to 5? No. So it is not greater than 5 and it is not equal to 5. That means I should not remove this 1. So this is the main logic, guys, where most of the guys will be failing. So like this, you have to decide which elements I have to remove and which elements I have to keep. So if I take these minus 1, 0 and 5, I will be getting the highest value, that is 14. So if I remove this one, I will be getting 11. So that's why I need to keep this minus 1. Not only this example, apply to any example. This is 100% working because I have checked it for 10-20 examples, guys. I have made my custom examples and I have checked it. Fine. So I hope you understood the algorithm completely. Okay. So for those who didn't understand, guys, I'll just explain in a glance once last time. Okay. So first, whatever they are giving, just take it and after that store it in an array, guys. So they will be giving in array itself, and whenever you are writing in the code, you need to convert it to array list, because add and remove operations we cannot do on array, right? So normal array is not mutable, so we cannot change the elements. So that's why whatever the array they will be giving, you need to convert it to the array list. So that I will be explaining in code, don't worry. But for now, you just understand the algorithm here. So whatever they give, just take it, and after that, you just sort it in the ascending order, so that whatever the lower values will be there at the left hand side will be coming to the left hand side, and whatever higher values are, they will be moving to the right hand side. So once you create an sorted array or array list, then you will be having something like this. Now check whether the first element is greater. So in order to remove a particular element, it should satisfy two conditions. The first condition is it should be a negative number, and second condition says that it should be greater than or equal to the positive or the highest number present in that array. So for that, just take the first number from starting point. You just check it whether it's a negative number. If it is negative number, then take the absolute value of this one and compare with the highest value, whether it is greater than or equal to that one. If it is greater than or equal to the highest value, then remove that one, and keep on doing until we reach all the values which are satisfying that two conditions are removed. So at that moment, you will be left with only this thing, guys. Minus 1 will be there, 0 will be there, and 5 will be there. So for this, the time will be 1, 2 and 3. So just multiply 1 into minus 1 plus 0 into 2 plus 5 into 3. So it will be giving you 14, and this is how they are giving the answer as 14, guys. Okay, so now you may ask, can I apply this one to the our example which I have mentioned above? Yes, you can apply, guys. There is no problem. So let me just show you that one as well. So we'll just see for the first example. Okay, so I'll just scroll up over here. Okay, fine, guys. So now you can see whatever the array they have given, so that I will convert it to an ascending order type of array. So let me just create one array. So let me just erase this thing. It is ugly, guys. Okay, so now I'll draw this array. Fine. So this is okay. Okay, done. So first element and second element. So the first element is -1 here, and the next element is 3, and the last element is 4. So it is already in the ascending order, so there is no need to sort. But okay, so in algorithm it will be anyhow sorting if you have written, so it will be sorting this one. So now check whether the first element is negative. Yes, it is negative, and take the absolute value whether 1 is greater than or equal to 4. It is not satisfying the condition, so don't remove this one. And for this, if you check it's not negative, then no need to check for the other conditions. Fine. So we'll be having this one only, and we'll be left with -1, 3 and 4. So just multiply 1, 2, 3 here and add up these things, you'll be getting 17. So this is how it will be satisfied for each and every test case, guys. And now let me just show you the code. I have already written each and everything. So this is the code, guys. Fine. So what it is doing and how it is working, that all those things I will just show you. But before that, let me just show you the test cases. So the first test case is -1, 3 and 4. So first test case I will take it as -1, 3 and 4. So already I have written these and checked. So that's why I'm pretty much done with this code. Okay, so array input is I'm taking -1, 3 and 4, and all those things I will explain you guys. But just see the output here. So for this one, the output is okay. So yes, one sec. Okay, so here you can see the output is 17, guys. So you can see here the expected output is 17. Now let me just go to the next test case, that is -1, 9, 0, 5, -7. So that also I have written -1, 9, 0, 5, -7. So I will comment this thing. Okay, so let me just comment this thing and I will uncomment this one. If I save and run this thing, then you can see the output is 14, and the expected output for this is also 14. And also I have created one more example, guys. You can see here for this the expected output is 71, I think. Let me just run this one. So you can see 71 is the answer for this one. So for here I'll be removing -10, and after that I'll be keeping -7, -2, -1, 0, 5, because -10 is equal to 10 and it will be contributing to decreasing the cumulative sum. So that's why if I sort, and if it is already sorted, right? So if I just remove this thing, then I'll be having the maximum coefficient. You can check it out. Okay, so once you understood these things, guys, now let me just delete this thing. I mean, two test cases I will be deleting because it will make it a mess up. Okay, so I'll just keep this as the active test case. Fine. Okay, guys, so once it is done, I'll just open this one, and now I'll start explaining the code. Okay, so this is same thing, guys. Whatever the n is there, so 3 elements are there. I have taken in the form of array. So integer type of return type is integer, and array name is array1, and the elements are -1, 3 and 4. So the same elements which they have given in the question. After that, int max is the variable which I have taken to store the maximum like to time coefficient. So that I will be storing in max variable. So that's why I have taken it and I have initialized it to 0. So now this block is basically to convert the array into array list. Why I am converting? Because in order to add and remove the elements dynamically, I cannot do with the help of array. So that's why either I can use array list, or I can use vector, I can use stack. So all those things are whatever there is in collections, that things can be used here. So I am simply going with array list. You can go with any other element as well, so any other collection. So array list, and I am defining the array list. Whatever elements will be I am taking is integer. So that's why I have given the generics as integer, whose name is array2, new array list, and here also integer. Fine. So after that, with the help of this for loop, I will be pushing all the elements from this array to array list. So I will be iterating on this array. So that's why I is starting from 0 and I is less than or equal to array1 dot length. That is up to last element it will be coming, and I plus plus. So what I am doing is basically array2, that is the array list dot add, and array1 of I means whatever is the first element. I will be starting from 0. So array1 of 0, that means -1 will be taken and it will be added to the array2. Then again I will increment, so it will be going to 1. So array1 of 1 is basically 3, so it will be taken and added to the array2. Similarly, the whole array will be added. So at the end of this thing, we will be getting a array list containing all the elements. Fine. So once you get the array list containing all the elements, then this is the direct a statement to sort the array list in the ascending order, guys. So we need to write collections, that is the class name, and there we will be having one static method, that is sort. So this is the inbuilt method, guys, and I just need to pass the whichever array list I want to sort. So here I need to sort array 2. So I'll pass this one. So after this, array 2 will be sorted. So if you just want to check this one, I'll show you guys. I'll write one enhanced for loop here for int I is to array 2. That means it will be directly iterating the elements of the array. So system.out.println, and here if I write I, then you can see I'll be getting the sorted array or array list, I can say. So let me just open the console here. So you can see I'm getting the sorted array list -1, 3 and 14. So 17 is the output which I have printed at the end. So from this is the sorted list which I will be getting. Okay, so this is due to this for loop. Okay, so this is not necessary, so I will just delete that one. Fine. Okay, once you have sorted this one, then this is basically this line is picking up the highest value in the array list. Okay, so this is int max1 I have taken as a variable, array2 dot get. So max value will be at the end because I have sorted it in the ascending order. So array2 dot size will give the total size, and the last index will be always size -1. So I have written -1. That will be pointing the highest value, and that will be stored in the max one. Fine. So I have taken the maximum value as well. Now it's time to remove the elements. So how we can remove this thing? For int I is equal to 0, I should be less than array2 dot size and I plus plus. That is, I have been iterating through the elements of this array2. Okay, so then I will be writing here something like this. So I will check two conditions. If this is the first condition, guys, and after that this is the second condition. In first condition, I will be checking whether the present element is negative element or not. So I can do that one, array2 dot get of I. That means I is pointing at the starting position. So if it is less than 0 means it is a negative number, and also it has to satisfy. That's why I written and here. Also its absolute value should be greater than or equal to maximum value in the array. So that's why I'll be taking math.abs. So math is a class, and inside that abs is the method. So I'll be passing array2.get of I. So that means the last element, it will be taking the negative element and it will be finding the absolute value. So if it is greater than or equal to maximum value, then I have to remove. So if it is satisfying both these conditions, then array2.remove whatever the element I is equal to at particular ith position, whatever the negative element which has satisfied both the conditions, that I will be removing. So once I remove this thing, why I am writing I equal to -1? So why it is necessary? So basically, if you are dealing with array, there is no problem because their index will not be changed. But here what happens, guys, this is very important. Few of you will be not understanding, so let me just write this one. Okay, so okay, let us say there are 3 elements in the array list. 1, 2, 3 are the elements which are present in the array list. So this is the first element, this is the second element. Their index will be 0, 1 and 2. Okay, so let us say this is -1 and you have removed, let us say this is -4, guys, because it will satisfy and it will be removed now. So if I remove this thing, I will be left with only 2 and 3. So now what will be happening is their index value will be reinitialized. That means for 2 the index value will be 0 and for 3 the index value will be 1. So that's why if I don't reinitialize this to 0 and if I just keep it as it is, so it will remove this one and it will start comparing from this element. Again it will compare from this element. It will not compare the 0th element. By the time the elements will get shifted, but it will point from this element. In this case also the same thing will happen. If I don't write I equal to -1, then it will start comparing, or it will skip one element, guys. So one element by one element it will be skipping. So if I just remove that one also, you will see the output whatever I will be getting, it will be something different. Okay, so let me just show you here. So for this case it is okay because in this case you will come to understand, guys. Okay, let me just remove this thing and add this thing. Fine, so here you can see the changes are happening, right? So that's why it's better to write this one. Sometimes it will make problems, guys. So that's why I prefer to write this one. But yes, it is fine if you write or not. But it is a good practice. If it is, if you want to pass all the test cases, then you have to write this one, guys. For corner test cases, sometimes it will be failing, so that's why I is equal to -1. That means I will be writing I is equal to -1 and it will make it as I plus plus. That means the counter will be again at the same position. So until and unless at the 0th position itself it will fail, it will not come out of the loop. So if you don't understand this one also, or if you don't write this one, it's fine, guys. It will the code will get executed. But if they are asking for more corner test cases, then you have to write this one. And if you don't understand this one, it's perfectly fine. Okay. So after that, okay, next thing is to find the cumulative sum. So it is simple, guys. I have to start from 1 because they are considering from the 1, right? So I is equal to 1, I should be less than array2 dot size and I plus plus. So max equal to max plus. This is the time coefficient, that is time I, and after that array2 dot get of I minus 1. So array2 dot get of I minus 1, I minus 1 why I am taking is basically, so whatever the element will be there, so this will be particularly I am starting from 1. And in array the index will be starting from 0, so that's why I have to take -1 in order to point to the correct location. So that's why -1 I have written, and I'll just multiply and print the sum. So this is how the problem will be solved, guys, and I think I hope you understood completely. And if you like the video, please leave a thumb, and please do consider subscribing to our channel because we'll be uploading this type of interesting videos daily. So thank you, guys. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. And if you want to access this code, it is present in our website, guys. You can just clearly copy from this and you can just play around this code. I have written the same code and I have uploaded there. So link will be there in the description. So just check it out, guys. Okay. So that's it in this video, guys. See you in the next one. Jai Hind. So have a nice day.